Hello, welcome to Jazz Is.
Jazz Is
MasterClass series
at the National Jazz Museum at the National Jazz Museum in Harlem.
I am Sekou McMiller, the curator of special projects.
My name is Albert Marquez, Zach O'Farrell.
My name is Shirazette Titten.
And we are in conversation with the legendary Bertha Hope. Jazz could only have happened here in America.
The key to everything was the radio.
So this world is too dense. 15 minutes isn't enough to cover it all.
Are you ready? I am.
In this reclaiming of the roots of this dance, it has also given this dance context today and preparing it for an amazing future. Welcome back to Jazz Is Masterclass series, and this is part 4, Reclaiming the Roots. So as I discussed before, during the era of codification, things became much more accessible around the world. And now we're calling it salsa dance, and it is known on every continent. And there's probably an event going on currently right now in at least 20 parts of the planet that's dealing with a salsa congress. People dancing mambo, cha-cha-cha, and bachata now, and they're bringing in other Afro-Latin dances at this point, and it's just a huge circuit of dancers. So codification really helped to bring the Afro-Latin jazz dance to the masses. However, we are in a period where we are starting to pull back into the roots of the dance. Codification gives you so much, but also, and sometimes it takes away a lot as well. There's a sense that the dance was created by people and by their social circumstances, and also by social gatherings. And when you're learning the dance in classrooms instead, there's key components being left out of the dance, which is that human element of meeting and greeting and vibing and jiving with someone one-on-one, even if it's your mother or your father grabbing you when you're a child and you're surviving the dance in the backyard or in your kitchen or in the living room, or it's your older brother or older sister or cousin, or and then you just survive it and it just becomes a part of your makeup. Now we have people dancing in classrooms, and that part sort of got missing. So there's this huge influx of the Afro-Cuban dance also being reintroduced into what we've been doing here in New York City and in the US. And this is in an era where the US-Cuba ties are a lot better relationship-wise. So you see this influx of what they're saying, mambo with an Afro-Cuban influence, which is quite ironic because it is inherently influenced by Cuba from its start. But that disconnection happens, through different situations, through commercial, through political reasons. But now we're in an era where we are reclaiming the roots, both the jazz roots of mambo and Afro-Latin jazz, and also the Afro-Cuban roots of it, and bringing it back together. Also shining a light on the contributions of these amazing people, of the Afro-Cuban people, of the Black Cuban people, and the African Americans, the Black Americans here in the US, and what they did during a time to create this ingenious dances and this infectious way of celebrating and bringing people together and promoting integration and tolerance and centering the human and not the human's appearance. So reclaiming the roots of these dances, which are rooted in ritual, rooted in sound, rooted in movement of the African diaspora. Currently, these dances are being taught all over the world, and including at the university level. These dances are being presented on many high-level stages now, and including on Broadway, film and television, and also in the concert dance world as well. And we're making a push to bring the street level influence into these spaces, to bring back the improvisational aspect of these dances that are deeply rooted in jazz, to really ground it in the rhythm of the drums, which is very deeply rooted in the Afro-Cuban dance canon. And from this, you're getting these new young people who are excited about mambo, about Afro-Latin jazz dance, about Afro-Latin jazz music. And you have these new musical artists as well, musicians who are making amazing Latin jazz music, both here in New York City and throughout the world. New artists and also old artists and artists who are coming from a pedigree of artistry, including the O'Farrell family, which starts back with Chico O'Farrell and then goes to his son Arturo O'Farrell, and then goes to his sons, both Adam and Zach O'Farrell, and they're all making amazing music to this day. And then you have artists like Pedrito Martinez, who is probably one of the most popular Afro-Cuban artists who lives in New York City and is making amazing, believe it or not, Latin jazz music, and just really unabashedly and unafraid of blending the traditional Afro-Cuban rhythms and music with the New Age sound, with the Latin jazz, and pushing it all forward. So in this reclaiming of the roots of this dance, it is also giving this dance context today and like preparing it for an amazing future. And just like in the music, we have the legacy of the dance. We have the person who codified and didn't give up on mambo, Eddie Torres Sr. And then now we have his son, Eddie Torres Jr., who is doing amazing things. And then you have his contemporaries. And you have the people in between them, someone like myself, who currently still teaches and teaches at university and also does the concert dance work and the film and television and Broadway work, and also teaches community classes. We're here and we're strong and we're keeping it alive, but also digging into its roots to assure its future. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the jazz history tree and speaking about the Afro-Latin jazz dance. As we went through Cuba into New York City at the beginning of the 20th century, through the turn of the century, through the dance craze, through the moments when it dropped off, and then to the resurgence, and then the re-implementation of its roots in order to reinvigorate it and give it a future. We're also excited for what's to come for the future of this Afro-Latin jazz dance.